Kitty. The Ethereum grew back.
It did! Mew! Hello everybody, this is Red Vinyl Kitty, and welcome back to my channel. If you have been on the channel for a while, then you know by now, probably, that I have a feeding tube. I've had a feeding tube now for 7 years. That's a long time. It's a long time to have a feeding tube. And, well, ever since I've had a feeding tube, it has slowed me down quite a bit because I never really adapted to it. When I first came home, I had like an occupational therapist and a nurse who was working with me, and we tried to come up with ways to like make me physically mobile with the feeding tube, but like nothing worked because I have like a very low lifting limit, and like here's the feeding tube itself in the backpack, but I'm not supposed to lift it. Like I'm not supposed to lift this backpack, and like most people with a feeding tube can lift their backpack. I guess it depends case by case, but I am not supposed to. And also, if you've been on this channel, you probably know that I have had numerous, innumerate, surgeries for my feeding tube because it's popped out of place. It has dislodged. I've had a lot of surgeries, and so because of that, I've been even like more restricted in my ability to move around with my feeding tube. When we first came home, like the nurse said, well, why don't you try getting an oxygen roller? Because those are really easy to move. And she was right, it was very easy to move. But it didn't work at all. It didn't work at all because it was too, it was unstable for what I needed, and it would fall over, and I can't bend to pick it up all day long every time it would fall over, so I couldn't use that. And then like the next best thing that we came up with was putting the backpack into a luggage, like a rolling luggage, and I would roll that around with me everywhere. And if you are, you may even remember that because I used to roll it around in my channel, and that was one of the more mobile parts of my life, was when I was doing that. But that didn't last for very long because I would be like home alone doing that. And if something goes wrong, like if the feeding tube gets clogged or something, then I would have to bend down and unzipper it to get to the feeding tube, and then unzipper the feeding tube, and then fight with the feeding tube to figure out whatever the heck is wrong with it. Like, does it need formula? Is it clogged? Does it need water? And then it was too much, and I would keep bending, and then it would cause more problems. Maybe I would have more dislodges and need more surgeries, and that's a problem. However, I was thinking about a new idea, because we're always trying to solve this problem. Solve this problem and get my ability to do things back, right? Right? So we're always trying to solve that because it's really freaking annoying. And I was thinking about a plan, and I think I got it, you guys. I think I got it. And I'm going to tell you about it because I can't be the only person with a feeding tube and a low lifting limit who has need of this idea. So here's what we did. All right, you guys, look at this. Look. See it? You see? Okay. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. But wait. Let me show you. Let me show you! Okay. So here it is. I put Bowser in here because I thought that it would make it look like a Mario Kart. And honestly, this is a little bit too big for what I need. but we couldn't find something smaller, and we wanted to see if this would work. And it's very easy for me to move. I only need one hand, so we just kind of Bowser fits, and so that's fine. And my feeding tube goes here by the handle so that it can reach. I have extra formula, enough, way more than I would ever need in one day. I have water here in case the thing screams at me that it wants food or water. I have a Camelback so that I can have cold water if I want, because I can drink by mouth if I want to. But you can't put cold water into the feeding tube. Most people don't know that, but if you do, it will coagulate. So that's your whole day ruined. Well, your next hour ruined. Also, like I said, because it's so. Oh, and I have a reacher here, which is very convenient too. Like, it literally, there's room for everything in here, and there's room for all my friends. 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 There's room. There's room for all my friends.
Kitty,
There's room for all my friends.
maybe most of your friends, not Steven.
Okay, maybe I can't fit all of my friends in here, but it's working very great. I can't go as fast as I could go without the cart, but I can go anywhere that I want to go in the house, and so that's excellent. I can only go on one floor though, and so we have ordered a second cart to have a second one upstairs. I have to wait for that to come, and we're going to be on the lookout for a shorter cart, because a shorter cart would be easier to maneuver. But the important thing right now is that I can get around, and getting around is really easy, and I hope this helps somebody, because I'm sure somebody else that I'm not the only one who has this problem, and occupational therapy had absolutely no idea what to do with me, so I hope that somebody else can make use of this. So thank you for watching, and I hope now that I'm more mobile, maybe there will be more videos. I hope. But I haven't stopped, and I will continue to make videos at whatever pace I am able to, and I will see you guys soon. Mew! Bye!